Good morning students. Welcome to offline classes for 10th standard. As we are discussing the chapter called life processes. In part 6 we have discussed about human heart and its mechanism we have discussed in detail in part 6. In today's part 7 we are going to discuss next part of the chapter, that is the schematic representation of transport of exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So this diagram which gives an idea for us how oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood circulates into the heart and from the heart to the different parts of the body. Let's check here. So these are the points from A to F which gives clear an idea how the blood circulates. So we will start from the B. So this is the B which is the part which carries the blood from lungs. It carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the left atrium. From left atrium it goes to the left ventricle. From left ventricle it pushes into the part called aorta. Through this aorta it carries the oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body. So this is what here the different parts of the body gets when it gets the oxygenated blood. Here there is a exchange of gases takes place. So cells get the oxygenated from aorta, and what happens? These cells again they give back what? Carbon dioxide rich blood, that is deoxygenated blood. So that deoxygenated blood will goes to the heart through this part called superior and inferior vena cava. Through this superior and inferior vena cava, the blood enters into the right atrium. From right atrium, the blood flows into the what? Right ventricle. From right ventricle, again the blood pushes into the one more structure called a pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery carries what? Deoxygenated blood or carbon dioxide it carries through to the lungs. So where again in lungs, again the exchange of gases takes place. So carbon dioxide blood enters here and the exchange of gases takes place, and again it gets what? Oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood again goes to like this to the B and so this is the way the blood transport in our body from the heart and to the different parts of the body. So this is called what? A double circulation. Okay. So next we will see the next part of the topic, that is what? The blood pressure. What is blood pressure? The valves present between the left atrium and the left ventricle and right atrium and right ventricle allow the flow of blood only in one direction. So we have seen that there is auricles and ventricles are the four chambers which we have in our heart. Always the blood flows from auricle to the ventricle, but the blood will not goes back from ventricle to the auricle. So this is prevented by the valves present between the auricle and the ventricle. They are called tricuspid valves and bicuspid valve. The bicuspid valve which is present between the left auricle and the left ventricle. The tricuspid valve which is present between the right auricle and the right ventricle. So these valves which prevents the backflow of blood from ventricle to the auricles. So this is what during this during this course of time, the blood which flows into the artery, that creates some kind of pressure. That pressure what we call the blood pressure. Okay, so when blood flows from ventricle to the auricles, during this course of time, it creates the inner wall of the arteries. So it creates the force, it creates the pressure into the arteries. So such kind of pressure, what we call the blood pressure. So there are two kinds of pressures for what we will see. That is what? Systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. So what is this systolic blood pressure? The pressure of the blood inside the artery during ventricular system. So ventricular systole. Systole means here contraction. So when ventricles contract, it creates a pressure in the arteries. Such kind of pressure what we call systolic pressure. This systolic pressure usually about 120 bar mmHg. mmHg, millimeter of blood. 1 millimeter of blood, it is having a pressure called 120. The normal healthy human being, the healthy adult person having systolic blood pressure, how much? That is 120 by mmHg. Whereas diastolic pressure, the pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular diastole. Diastole means relaxation. So during relaxation, it is called diastolic pressure. So during contraction and during relaxation, both the situation, it creates a pressure in the arteries. So those such kind of pressure what we call the blood pressure. There are two kinds of blood pressure. One is systolic, one is diastolic. Systolic blood pressure creates during the contraction of ventricles. The diastolic pressure which creates during relaxation of a ventricle. So this diastolic pressure usually about 80 bar mmHg. 1 millimeter of blood, it is having about 80 of pressure. So usually this blood pressure we will measure by using the one instrument called sphygmomanometer. The sphygmomanometer is one of the instruments used to test or to measure the blood pressure of human beings. Okay. So next is about the blood vessels and their functions. So these the blood vessels which plays very important role in the transport of blood, to the hearts and from the heart to different parts of the body. They are arteries, the veins and the capillaries. So what is the main function of arteries? Arteries carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. So here arteries, all the arteries which carries the blood away from the heart to the different parts of the body. Whereas veins carries the blood towards the heart. Which kind of blood it carries towards the heart? That is deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood, nothing but water, carbon dioxide rich blood goes to the heart through veins. And whereas capillaries, which helps the exchange of gases between the blood and the surrounding cells. So this is the main function of water, the arteries, veins and capillaries, and these are called water blood vessels. The next is about maintenance of platelets. So as you know, the blood contains what different cells, RBC cells, WBC cells, and one more is what platelets. So here platelets plays very important role in the clotting of blood. Whenever you fell down or whenever you get wound, during this time the blood bleeds. During this time the bleeds platelets which clots the blood. In case the blood platelets will not be there in our body, the blood from the injured part or wound part, the blood is flowing continuously, or the bleeding takes place more and more. So more amount of blood will goes away from our body. So this prevents by the one of the important cells of our blood, that is called platelets. So platelets which plays very important role in the clotting of the blood. So here the next is about the lymph. The lymph is another a fluid which present in our body. It is the same as like a blood, and the composition of blood and the lymph is almost equal, but only thing is only one small difference between the blood and the composition of blood and lymph, that is the lymph doesn't contain what RBC cells, whereas blood contains what RBC. The remaining all the composition of blood and lymph is almost same. But lymph is colorless, whereas blood is red in color. So because the blood contains water, the RBC cells contain water hemoglobin. That hemoglobin is a pigment which gives water red color to the blood. Whereas lymph doesn't contain RBC, hence they don't have hemoglobin, so that it is in colorless. The lymph is type of fluid that is colorless and involved in the transportation. Even lymph is also helped in the transportation of food, other materials to all the parts of the body. So lymph is formed when some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells escapes through the pores present in the walls of capillaries. When blood flows into the water capillaries, some amount of plasma which escapes from the capillaries and it forms water, another other fluid called water, lymph, and capillary into the intercellular spaces in the tissues. So the blood when it enters into the capillaries, there some amount of blood which escapes from the capillaries, such kind it forms another fluid called water, lymph, and lymph is also helping the transportation from towards all the parts of the body. So this is about the lymph. Okay, so this is let me see the main function of the lymph. The lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess of fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. So here, what is the main function of lymph? So lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from the intestine. So we have already discussed during the respiration and during the digestion we have discussed the complete digestion which takes place in the intestine, and the absorption takes place in the intestine through villi. The food which is digested, it is absorbed by the villi, and the absorbed food and the absorbed fat which is circulated through all the parts of the body through this lymph. So through in this way the lymph plays very important role in the transportation of food and other substance through all the parts of the body. So this is about the lymph and how blood. This is about the different about lymph and other topics. In the next class, we will discuss about how transportation takes place in plants. In detail, we are going to discuss in part 8. Thank you.